In this video, we're going to be talking about advising appointments and what do you need for the advising appointment and how to prepare for those appointments. So let's go ahead and dive in. To start, the first few things you'll need is preparation. If you know a student is coming in, this is the perfect time to take a look at Advisor Data Portal or ADP. Take a look at the classes the students have already taken and start checking them off either on a program planner or a checklist if you have it. We have created some fillable forms for checklists, for example, for the AADTA degree, the general degree, or any of the AADTA degrees. If they're looking for like the psychology focus or art focus, we already have checklists for those and we can provide those to you for you to use. Also, what you want to take a look at in preparing is retrieving the student's quarterly pin. That way you don't have to worry about it while the student's meeting with you there. There's another way to prepare for a student coming in. I've created two fillable forms which you can access on the Advising Tools page on the faculty and staff website. I'm going to have a tutorial here in just a minute that we can take a look at those. So these sheets, one is a quarterly advising sheet which can help you when meeting with a student when you're just talking about the next quarter. There's another sheet called a program planning sheet, and this can help a student make that long-range plan. Maybe they want a graduation plan, they want to think beyond that one quarter.
From LCC's website, hover over the drop-down arrow and go down to the Faculty and Staff website. In here, you'll go to the Advising Tools page, and this is where you can access quite a few things that you need as an advisor. One is ADP Pro, Advisor Data Portal, and this is where you would log in to view a student's class schedule, their past grades, GPA, placement results, and this is where you record advising notes. We'll be doing a separate video on how to navigate the Advising Data Portal. If you scroll down further, you'll find quite a few important links. These are things that advisors will be using all the time and places that we can refer students to when they have questions as well. For an advising appointment and for preparing for an advising appointment, we recommend using these additional resources, two of which that we've created as fillable forms that will make your life easier. One of which is the quarterly advising sheet, which will help you as you're sitting down with a student to talk about the next quarter's courses. We'll be looking at that in just a moment. The other is the program planning sheet. This is something you can use and fill out for a student who wants that long-range plan, a plan for further in the distance. They want to see a graduation plan. They want you to help them map it out. This is a great tool for that. When preparing for a student's appointment, I like to have both a quarterly advising sheet ready and also a program planning sheet. So let's take a look at both of those. Both of these you can find on the Advising Tools page on the Faculty and Staff website. First, what I would do is save this as the student's name. Wherever you'd like to save it, you put in the student's name, information, hit save. That way you're not saving information on a blank sheet, you're saving it specific to them. Put in the date, student's name and information, and this is in tab order, so you can just go across, plug in the student's information, already have this ready before the student walks into your office. Again, having looked up that quarterly pin, you can then put it in here, and then it's ready to go for the student. As you're talking about classes with the student, you can then be typing them in here. So let's say you had talked about Math 107. You notice on the class schedule the item number. It's section A, it's 5 credits, whatever the course is, and then the days and times. This can really help you plan with the student. Let's say the student already came in with all the courses they're interested in taking. Great, you can just plug them in here, and this is just for your record, and you can also print it for the student as well. As you're talking with the student, if things come up in the appointment that you want them to remember and you want to remember yourself, you can plug it in to the notes here. So you can just simply plug it in. If any to-do items came out of your appointment, such as talk with financial aid regarding full-time versus part-time, or whatever the to-do list item would be, you can plug it in here. Again, this is great For your advisees, it's great for you to remember as well. You can simply save it and then print it out for the student and send it with them. This is great for the one time you're just talking about the next quarter. That's what this quarterly advising sheet is great for. There's another sheet that you will want to use when a student is interested in long-term planning. This is something that we created. It's a program planning sheet. It is now a fillable form, easily used. Again, before the student comes in, if you know they're wanting to do this, you can already have it filled out. And if you're not sure that they want to do this with you, you could always have it ready just in case the conversation goes that way. That way you're not trying to plug in all their name and information while they're sitting there with you. Already have that filled out. Again, it's tab order, so you can just go through it, plug in the details, and as you're talking with them to begin that plan, you simply select the quarter, the year, put in the course, Math 107, tab, 5 credits, come back down here, Art 100, again, hit enter, that's 5 credits as well. And then you can go forward from there. So there's winter, and you're interested in this class, so why don't we plan for that in spring? I know it happens to be offered in spring, so why don't we throw it in there? So English 102, I don't know, as an example. Again, tab over, hit 5 credits. And you can plan out as far as you need to. You can go, there's 3 different columns here. You can go all the way across. There's 4 quarters you can do across the page there in that row. So you can really help the student plan all the way out. Often what I also do with students planning to transfer is in the quarter that they should be applying. So let's say they're wanting to start at a university fall 2020. In the fall 2019 section, I will put below their classes, apply for university. That way they can also keep these timelines in mind as well. So this is really great information that's really going to help you and the student plan. Down below, again, you can put in your information so they have your contact information. You can put in any notes that came out of this appointment. And then you can save this and then print it out for the student. That way you have a record of what you guys have talked about, and next time you meet, you don't have to start over from scratch.
As you begin helping students plan for their courses, often they will already come in with some idea of what they want to take the next quarter. I usually start with asking what they plan to take and if they've already looked at the class schedule. If not, then we can pull it up and take a look together. Begin with the courses they've already taken, maybe have a conversation about that, and then start talking about what they plan to take in the future quarters. You can use the quarterly advising sheet to begin writing down the courses and the item numbers to help a student stay organized so they don't have to look back for it later. Now that we've seen how to prepare for a student appointment, let's talk a little bit about the questions you should ask when meeting with a student. Some of those questions would be, to start, how are they doing in the quarter they're in right now? Do they have any concerns with their courses? Are they thinking about transferring to another school? All of these types of questions can help guide your conversation. If they are having concerns, where can we refer them? And maybe tips that we can give them for strategies, but where could we refer them to? The tutoring center for additional help. Maybe you have supplemental instruction, or maybe they're in need of a counselor. We are not mental health counselors, and we shouldn't act like them. Now, we do need to be sympathetic if there are things that are going on, but if it's beyond our scope, we really should encourage them to go visit the counselor. They're free, confidential, and other places that we often refer students are like the Career Center. If they're not sure what they want to do with their degree, they're not sure where they want to transfer or what they can do with it, we refer students to the Career Center all the time. Now, one important thing that I would recommend for referrals is if there's any way to do that warm handoff, if you can walk the student over to that department, that will make a much better difference than just saying, hey, go over to financial aid, or hey, go over to the Career Center. They're much more likely to take you up on that service if you walk them over and help them set up that appointment. I know that time is valuable and you may not always have time to do that, but whenever possible, that could really make a difference. Also, don't feel like you have to be the expert. So if they're asking questions that you may not know about, that's okay. We can always say, that's a great question. I'm not sure. Let me jot that down and I'll get back to you. It's always best to serve the student as much as we can. We are not going to be experts on everything, but we just need to show them that we care and that we will help and that we'll follow up with them. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any questions about advising appointments.